All right, Arizona, we're back. My name is Steve Rundle, the host of azrealestateradio.com, joined with my partners here, Sean Ybarra with Praxis Credit and Andrew Schmidt with the Lending Company. And guys, just before the break, we were talking about how this economy, this downturn in our real estate market has affected really everybody across the board, from the well-off to the not so well-off. And, we like to think of ourselves as educators, and we like to talk to people whether you're got money in the bank or don't got money in the bank, as they say, because there's a lot of things out there, and in my personal opinion, I think one of the best investments right now is real estate, because there's so many, and not just the Arizona market, but other markets too, that are doing well for certain reasons. And if you can get in and purchase at this time, yesterday, Andrew, you were telling us rates, refinancing in the threes. It's a ridiculous price to pay for money. I mean, that's cheaper than even before the boom. I think I don't remember ever remembering it being that low.
No, times were too good, so money was not cheap.
Right.
And when times are tougher, then money's cheap. So this is a great time to lock in a rate in the threes or the fours, because it will never happen again. And if it does, people will not like the circumstances, because it will be even a worse recession that will bring rates lower.
Well, and
so no one's going to want that.
If you're an investor, if you're a first-time home buyer, if you're just looking to purchase a second home or a vacation home in our beautiful state of Arizona with great sunshine, I mean, one of the reasons our market is doing so well is that we have a lot of second home buyers in this market, and they're great because they come, they enjoy our sunshine, they go back home during the summer months, and then they come right back. And it's really helped our economy. It's helped our tourism industry. It's one of the reasons why we are such a great state. I mean, you guys were ragging on me a little bit from being Ohio earlier, but it's cold in Ohio.
Hey, I met with a guy yesterday from Kentucky. He's moving here. He's spending the whole week with his wife. He's got a promotion he can accept, and they're gonna spend the week in Arizona just to see how they like it.
Sure.
He was here before. I spent an hour and a half with him going over all of the city, the different gorgeous areas,
right.
Anthem, Lake Pleasant, Power Ranch, Ocotillo, just areas that are master plan areas that are gorgeous. And he's like, wow, and the prices, he's so excited. Obviously he wants to make a good decision, so they're going to take their time.
Right.
He's well thought out, but it's also about moving his family from Kentucky to Arizona. But you can just see it all over his face.
Well,
it's going to happen.
I had some clients this week
it's
too.
Wonderful.
They're
here.
from Washington, and they were telling me it rains every single day.
Yeah.
And they're like, we just want a place, because they travel here.
Hey, in Kentucky, his kid, who is 2.5 years old,
right.
about to enter the school system in a couple of years, has to be bused an hour to two when the school is within walking distance down the street. Because in Kentucky, with those discrimination laws they have there, they have to make sure there's a certain mix of students in every school, which means kids are bused up to 2 hours just so that the proper protocol of mix of cultures is in a school. Everybody hates it, but they do it. And he said, please tell me Arizona's not like that. And I said, no. I said, when you move in, you'll see right on your listing, your MLS listing, what the elementary school is, the junior high and the high school, and they're all typically the closer schools. They want you to be able to get to your school.
Well, and there's so many great communities and the newer communities that put the school right inside the community. So it is. Can you
imagine in Kentucky they have to bus them cross town just so that there's a proper mix of kids, and everyone hates it.
Yeah.
And can you imagine 2-hour bus ride for your little 5-year-old kid? 4 hours down the road. It's at age 5.
Yeah, that's.
But
tough.
Arizona, we're a special state. There's a lot of great things here, and the people that helped create the laws in our legislature is very conservative, family-oriented people, business-oriented people. This is a great place. So owning real estate here is going to do nothing but get better, just like it always has. It just, we have to work through that inventory right now. So fantastic thing for people to ask about and dig in and get the questions out.
Speaking of inventory, the inventory is very low, so it's a great time to buy now because we don't have much of it. I mean, everyone has either been listening to our show or have caught on to the fact that it is a great time to buy. I mean, there's so much product that has come to the market and was available that our second home buyers are relocators, and a lot of people are taking the time, if they've lost their home to foreclosure, to say, hey, look, you know what? We don't have anything going on in Kentucky or Ohio or New York or whatever. We just lost our house to foreclosure because we couldn't afford it or we short-saled it. let's do something different. Let's make a life change. It's not about just, changing in your local area. It's a lot of people are now considering life changes because of this economy.
Well, for jobs and whatnot as well.
For jobs. They're either starting up their own company or doing something on the entrepreneur side or looking for a new job somewhere else, maybe in more affordable areas like Arizona. Arizona has now become affordable again, and we're at prices that we haven't seen since 1998. And so it's nice to be able to see that people aren't just sitting there. Back in 2008, I think that's what people were doing, is just sitting on their hands waiting for the economy to turn. It didn't turn as quick as everyone had thought. So now people are like, well, let's do something. Let's get out there. Let's do something different.
But also, home prices are so much lower today than they were in 2008.
Well, I think that's what folks are realizing.
Yeah.
They're like, whoa, wait a minute. You're telling me how much?
And they look
Andrew,
at rates.
you can get me a loan for how much?
I know.
4 or 5%, and my payment's only going to be
$700
a month?
It's a perfect storm. I mean, when you take low real estate prices and low rates and a low move-in cost, 0 to 1% down, at the most 3.5%, it's pretty exciting, and people are calling. People are buying.
Well, in my opinion, I think it's even better than when we were doing the first and seconds. Back in the day when lending was easy to get, but it was still more expensive because your prices were increasing. Now you had 2 loans on the property. There was so many other things that were involved in that. Now that our pricing is low, our lending is low, and there's product out there and available every single day.
I will say I'm working with 2 doctors, well-to-do doctors, and one of them wants to purchase for about $800,000, and the other one wants to refinance, and he's got about $800,000. And they're finding out that using a combination mortgage will save them a ton of money because they're able to get a rate in the 3s on their first mortgage, which is a conventional loan. They only go up to $417,000.
Right.
And the second mortgage is a line of credit, which is at about 4.75%.
Wow.
And they can actually pay that second down as quick as they want. The payment drops every time they do. They're looking at this. They're going, wait a minute here. I can't get a good jumbo loan. So we have people listening today that are looking at jumbo.
Tell me more about a combination mortgage, because I haven't heard that term in quite some time.
Isn't it amazing? Yeah.
What is it today as opposed to what it was, in yesterday's?
Well, amazingly, the one doctor who owns his home, he can go up to 90% loan to value and still get a conventional mortgage, which, can you imagine, on jumbo pricing, have only 10% equity and still getting rates in the 3s?
That's tremendous.
And jumbo pricing is what again?
Jumbo pricing is anything over $417,000.
But what's the rates on the
jumbo?
The rates on them are going to be about 5.5% fixed. Right in that market. There's not
they've
a
been
great
challenging to get in recent, even for good qualified buyers.
Right.
Jumbo mortgages have been challenging.
So when we talk to clients, we're going to talk to them about a few options. One mortgage. Here's a jumbo. Here's a fixed. Now it's 30-year fixed, or you can go 15-year fixed and get a much lower rate.
Right.
But again, that's a pretty big payment. When you go 15-year fixed on a $800,000 loan, it's a real big payment. So plan B is to do an adjustable. Everyone hates adjustables. However, a lot of people are looking at doing a 7-year fixed, something that really gives them a long time, and the rate could be in the 4s.
Right.
And so they're looking at those these days. And then lastly, they're looking at combination loans, which is a conventional mortgage up to $417 and a little smaller line of credit behind it at 4.75%.
That's great.
Super low payment. They could even do a 15-year fixed on the conventional, get in the 3s, get a lot of equity built up in that home, and really drive that mortgage down so that by the time 2, 3, 4, 5 years roll around, they're almost paid down to $400,000.
Sure.
And they now they're not in jumbo territory anymore.
Right.
They only have one mortgage. So
they potentially could then traditionally refinance into...
Or just end up keeping that first.
Right.
That great first that they're locked into. Some really great stuff. So people are asking the questions. They're calling
in. Mortgage planning here.
Mortgage planning and...
Mortgage planning 101?
Yeah, exactly.
Come see Andrew. Get
Well,
into his 101
101
class.
103. it gets complex, but we're there for people.
Advanced lending.
But you guys make it really simple for them to understand.
Exactly.
Why not? If I were in their shoes, I would want to just talk real numbers. Hey, what's your goals? What's important?
Well,
Okay,
that's it. You can
here's
put it
some
on
options.
paper. If you're sitting
Paper
down with
is the best.
someone and talking,
I have a
they can
laptop.
see it.
I have a laptop. It doesn't have a cord on it. It doesn't have a battery.
Here we go.
It's my pen. It's my pad and paper.
Here we
Mr.
go.
Non-technical.
It's my pad and paper. I
Right.
put it right on my lap.
Yep.
It's my laptop, and I scratch out numbers, and people love that laptop because they go, "This is my life. Give me my numbers." And so, who needs to be technical these days? Sometimes
I
you
do.
need to
I think I do as well.
Right. When I'm crunching numbers for properties, I don't want to sit with a pen and paper.
That's what a calculator's for.
That's what a laptop's for.
That's what the software.
That's what a spreadsheet's for.
Yeah, that's the spreadsheet and the budgeting.
And there are times for that we do that too.
Definitely. So, if you need more information or want to talk to Andrew about a combination loan or real estate, give us a call, 602-999-1912. As always, you can check us out on the web, www.azrealestateradio.com, or shoot us an email at info@azrealestateradio.com. And we only got a couple of minutes, guys. So, Andrew, give me your best loan program you have today.
0 down, 1% down, 3% down.
I only said 1.
I know, that was like...
That's one program.
That's the same program?
It depends.
That's 4% total.
Well, that's a loaded question, because the best program for people is going to be one of the above, and once in a while it's 20% down. There are people, just like yesterday, my folks from Kentucky, they have 20% down, so they're not going to do any of those. And they're going to do a conventional loan with no mortgage insurance.
Sure.
And they're prepared.
So ultimately it's situational.
It's situational.
It's situational.
Once you sit down and talk with them, you'll be able to hammer that out what their best program is. So there's your one program.
There's
Steve.
my one program. And the rates on those programs? Give me a ballpark.
Well, 3.5% to 4.5%.
Because I think that's the biggest question I get. As a real estate professional, I get that question. I'm sure you do too. And maybe we'll talk about that next time. But, hey, what's the rate today?
3.5%. Well, what's the rate today?
What's the rate
you get
today?
to pick your rate. If you were buying a home and I were helping you, you would actually pick your rate.
I'm definitely going to talk to you a little bit more about that in tomorrow's show because I want to see how I can pick my rate. Hey, guys, thanks for listening. Check us out on the web, azrealestateradio.com. 602-999-1912 is our phone number, and you can always just shoot us a quick email and ask any question that you have. Let it be about the Cavs or the market. I'll discuss either. That's info@azrealestateradio.com, and we'll see you tomorrow.